Hey folks, this is BestInSlot. Welcome back yet again to Jurassic World Evolution 2. You're probably pretty sick of me by now, but this should be a pretty short video, but we want to test out something I've wanted to test out for a really long time now, and that is just how big can you make an aviary or lagoon, and we'll try out both, in Jurassic World Evolution 2. To test this theory, we've come to Isla Nublar 2015. I believe, from using my eyeballs, that this is probably the largest unbroken stretch of land available in the game. I've gone ahead and flattened that using the tried old technique of covering it with water first and then getting rid of it. And we're going to give it a go. Simple as that. So let's start off with the aviary. And we're just going to start and we're going to see what we can do. And this is going to be super boring. So I am probably going to time-lapse it once we get past the initial section. But it's not yelling at me quite yet. Okay, so I think we should time-lapse this, because I can't imagine this is going to be interesting for either of us. Well, look, folks, I won't lie and say that was the most exciting thing I've ever done in my life, but there it is. It does appear there is no cap on the possible size of an aviary. I think we figured that out pretty quickly into what I just did, but at that point I kind of had to see it for myself, it must be said. It's absolutely gigantic. I want to very quickly pop out a creature. I decided to get a little Dimorphodon on the way just so we can check it out, but here you go, folks. It is absolutely gigantic. Look at it catching the light like that. I'm very curious about this, because in theory you could do an entire park build like this, because as we've seen, you are allowed to build in here. It kind of looks like a giant greenhouse or something. It's really cool, to be honest. I'm actually a really big fan of this. I like that there's no limit on it. It seems like the kind of thing they would have maybe usually done, but they've decided to hold off and just let us go utterly bloody bonkers. I feel like I'm looking on two sides of a planet. It's huge. Let's pop out this Dimorphodon and see how they like it, eh?
I'm Claire Deer. I know it must be overwhelming to meet all these new people, but you're about to embark on a life-changing adventure. It certainly was for me.
Do you reckon it's going to have enough area? Probably, right? So, that is the gigantic aviary. Now, I'm basically 100% sure that the lagoon will also work. It would be weird if one worked and the other didn't. However, I feel like I've committed to the idea and that I kind of have to go do it for the lagoon as well, so let's go do another time-lapse, I suppose. Well, folks, there you go. I don't know how obvious that was during the time-lapse, but the PC did not like that quite as much. It seems okay now, but when actually building it, I did get quite a lot of stutter. And of course, whilst you can build the aviary over some water, because the aviary can contain water, with the lagoon, I had to go keep checking it. But you can make a pretty bloody big lagoon as well. This all-encompassing, almost ocean covering your park. Very, very cool. It would be a bit silly to do this and not have a little dive underwater and see just how long it takes to go from one side to... Bloody Nora. Wait, where am I? I'm nowhere near. Right, so if we go over here, and we're going to aim at that far end. And this is with me holding shift, by the way, in capture mode, so it's extra quick. Let's start at the wall. Let's go. Let's try to aim ourselves properly here. We want to go about there, I think. I'm going to go down to the surface and hold shift and speed. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. I don't know why that's the appropriate music, but it is. It should be like 50,000 Leagues Under the Sea or something. And there is the wall. So, big enough for, you know, maybe 2 mosasaurs. Cool. Yeah, big fan of this, that they've just let us go a little bit crazy, or at least they've let me go a little bit crazy. There's one last thing I want to test out and show you, though, before we go, so I'll be back in just a second. Okay, folks, as mentioned, there is one last little thing I want to try out, and that is whether we can, in fact, have a lagoon inside, well, no, an aviary inside a lagoon, essentially. So I'll show you what I mean. I don't think it'll work the other way around, but this way around, in theory, may work. You're gonna link, thank you. There we go. So what we need to do first is spread that bloody water, I tell you. Let's make a nice big lagoon. So we've got a decent amount of space in the middle. And then we're going to link this all together into a funky donut sort of thing. I just need to get rid of that little bit of water creeping in the cheeky little blighter. There we go. And let's speed up time. Put a lagoon section in. Lovely stuff. We made like a evil corporate symbol, basically. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our aviary dome. And so that, I mean, obviously that works in terms of we can display it like that, but the test is actually whether we can put the monorail over the lagoon to the aviary in the middle, and that way you could actually utilize both, and the lagoon would become its own giant moat sort of thing. So you'd put on your aviary hatchery at the side, that works fine, and you put on your lagoon hatchery. We hop into guests, we're going to grab ourselves the monorail station. And it all comes down to this, really. Can the monorail go over the lagoon? Oh. Oh. Building up suspense. Oh. Oh, yeah. I think we already knew this, to be totally honest with you. But I wanted to check it out for myself. And then if I'd done this correctly, which I haven't. Let me just get rid of those very quickly. Build us a little bit of space. You could plan this out better. I think you'd build the aviary first, ideally, actually. Monorail station. There we go. Things take a little bit of time to delete now. Put this at the back, like so. Connect all that together. And then suddenly, very cool. Big fan of this. You could do that. And we can build a aviary viewing area, which is there. Have that there. And when this all finishes, and that's connected, and I'm a big old dummy. There we go. In theory, that is, yeah, that looks awesome, actually, just like that as it is. And I didn't really think about this or plan this out. This was fairly haphazardly done. You can, in fact, do this. And then if we show view, it'll be like this. And if we're inside here, we can look around and we've got the lagoon, you know, surrounding us like a moat. There'll be like a perfect shape you can do to make this really sort of tight to the edge as well, like a little bit closer than that even. But yeah, very cool. Really like that. That's awesome. Right. Okay, well that's the last thing I had in mind to showcase. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little look at the lagoons and the aviaries. This, I believe, was the final video I had planned today. It might not be. So, you know, let me know down below again if there's anything else you want to see. Hit me up in the comment section. If you see a suggestion that you really like, or like a piece of info that you really want yourself, then feel free to like that comment as well so I can see it and it gets a bit more publicity. Yeah, I'm just going to go through the top comments and pick the ones I like, basically. So, yeah, awesome. Massive lagoons, massive aviaries, and complete control. Very cool stuff. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've enjoyed this video, and indeed the mammoth amount of comment today, that was commentate today, by the way, and the massive amount of content today, please do throw me a like down below. It's super appreciated and goes a long way. I'll see you lovely folks next time. Cheers, much love as always. Bye-bye.
Reaching out.